If you've ever wanted to strengthen your intuitive nature, you've come to the right place. My name is Constance Messmer, and I help people align with their intuitive self for a more profound existence.
Hello, and welcome to the Constance Messmer Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We have just gone through the 11 soul senses, one soul sense each week for the last 11 weeks. And now we're soon to embark on the 12 chakras. Now, people are like, what is it with you in these two topics? Well, I focus a lot of my teachings on these two foundational pieces. Your 11 soul senses and your chakra system. Why? Because your chakras are a map of your soul. So I focus mostly in on energy awareness and psychic constitution, if you will. When I first started doing this work decades ago as a professional in the field of healing work and giving reads and acting as a medium and a channel and looking at people's energy patterns in their life and what was holding them back from either manifesting or pursuing or accomplishing dreams they were hoping to, or the right relationship with themselves, or the right career for them, right? I often noticed, not only just in giving soul level information in the reads and getting connection and tuning into spirit for greater information or expanded awareness into their life and accessing their Akashic records. Beyond all of these, right? I would also look at the soul's energetic blueprint, and what was stored in the chakra system was very revealing. And the more I worked with it, the more I realized that there are chakras beyond the traditional 7 that are in the physical body. When I was trying to find information, I would really scan the energy field of the person and locate where kind of the imbalance was, or the block was, or the strength was, or the part of them that was trying to express itself. And the chakra system was, I quickly realized, a map of the soul, not just in this lifetime, but countless other lifetimes and future potentials. And so this has been advantageous to understand this perspective for myself and to pursue it more, not only in my own personal studies with working on people and with students and with classes and with, even inanimate things like business proposals and my relationship to them, things like this, right? But also it's been beneficial, so beneficial that I want to share it with you and teach you as well. So we've, just like I said, we've gone through this whole series of your 11 soul senses, and now we're heading into your 12 chakras. And each week I'm going to lead information and episodes. So I hope you'll join me on what we're about to embark on. But I also want to let you know, this is cool news for me to share with you. I created 3 tools to help you. I wrote Soul Yoga because when you combine both energy awareness and your 11 soul senses, this is what you get. You get working through the chakras is like yoga for your soul, right? To understand, to make this deeper connection. So I wrote this soul yoga book, and I should tell you a little bit about this. So we have links in the show notes so you could get your copy. This was so funny. This took ages, right? This was very basically, my COO said, why don't you convert your guidebook that you use in your Reiki classes for students? Why don't we convert that to your wider audience on, across the planet? And I was like, great idea. This shouldn't take long at all. This shouldn't take long at all. This should just take me a few hours. Oh my God, I think it's for like 2 years, right? Because the more I did and the more I invested time and energy into it, the more spirit called out to me and wanted to participate and have me incorporate many things, not just what I've known all these years, but what they wanted to gift me with. Like, don't forget these pieces. So when I was working on people in Reiki energy healings, I would give Reiki with a reading. I would offer readings too as to, why is this block even happening in this chakra? And so I would go into either the story or just kind of the mindset that they had. And so I would have to ascertain, was this a story that they were doing based on this life experience or past life experience or future promises and vows, right? So all of these kind of thoughts are in Soul Yoga, my Soul Yoga book. It's using your 12 chakras as a map to reaching your highest potential is the tagline. And so this is a detailed book on how I invite you to look at your chakras, how I've actually used the chakra system in my readings and in my healing sessions and in my own personal exploration of, where are my hiccups and where are my strengths that yet to be revealed to me. And so part of this was pulling together all that I was learning while working on students and people. Well, they were like my lab of the chakra system, right? I don't have I actually read books on chakras? I don't even know. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So I think that though once we start kind of becoming familiar with the content and the information that the chakras can relay to us in this energy relationship that we can have with them, I think that truth is truth, right? It's going to be revealed to me in the same way that it's been revealed over countless, you know, ch- centuries, really, um, because the information about them hasn't changed as much as our awareness to the information that we can ascertain there. And so when I first learned Reiki, I learned about the chakras in England and then took the studies deeper into my own practice with having relationship with them. And so you have things in here that I don't know that's in other chakra books. Like I know, I've got the gemstones that I use. So in the episodes ahead, the 12 weeks ahead, I will be sharing some of the gemstones that I use and actually sharing with you some of my favorite ones, right? But when I was working on people, I was also noticing this incredible pitch to help open up the chakra and to heal it and to bring balance to it, really, um, on a deeper level. So in my Soul Yoga book, I share with you tones and pitches that I've used to work with those particular chakras. I talk to you about the hand mudras that I use when I go into meditation. So there's meditations, there's visualizations, there's affirmations, there's the yoga asanas. That was, I think, one of the coolest freaking things was when I started to realize, that the body is an antenna of energy frequency. And so when we position the body in certain ways, we can actually bring and run energy in. And I realize the yoginis of ancient times understood this as not only a concept, but as a practice, a deep knowing. And so, but for me, the most profound thing was when I was meditating and my body would just spontaneously go into asanas. And even when I would reach these higher frequencies of connections, goosebumps, um, you're welcome, reach these higher frequencies of connections, certain my body would go into certain yoga postures, yoga asanas, right? Because it was just this grace-filled download of this frequency, the energetics of this frequency. So I include in the book, the Soul Yoga book, I include the yoga asanas that I've worked with to help highlight the energy focus in each of the 12 chakras. Oh my God, I'm getting such Chills. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah, you're welcome. Um, and so this whole thing about, kind of having a relationship with your energy field on a deeper level and knowing it's supported by the universe is pretty powerful and profound. So what else is in the soul yoga book? There's contemplations that you could consider, and you could it invites you to go deeper into the information that is stored in each of your chakras. So each chakra has its own section with characteristics, with the gemstones I use, with the color frequency that's familiar at it, although I myself see them all as white, pure energy. But I have to actually focus to see, does it have a color vibration? And, is it a frequency thing? And so I've included those in here, the color frequency. And then I've also got the location on the physical body and outside the physical body. And I have really fun quotes that are, I think that are kind of nice. That they were fun when they came through. A lot of this was, offered from spirit channel through me. And then also there's some of my favorite clearing techniques to clear any, I don't want to say blocks, but I guess it would be blocks. It's, kind of these, yeah, the roadblocks to a pathway that's supposed to be open and free and healthy. And so there are some of my favorite chakra clearing techniques that I use. And, and so I don't want to do a spoiler. You should get your coffee and see what's in here. Um, I also have, what else do I have? I have, um, oh, this one is really cool. I have a list of vows and promises because my friend, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many healings that I've done where I'm like, what is this? What is this tied to? And it was not just a specific past life, but a vow or a promise they had made in that past life, or a promise that they carried into this lifetime. So I have these kind of things in here, and I have which chakras you should look to with specific vows and promises you might be carrying and holding that are preventing you from your fullest potential. So this soul yoga book was a freaking labor of love because it took so long. it took so long, but I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to offer it to you. I think it's cool. We also, did we? I don't know if we did include a QR code in there. That links you to the playlist. But I know where we did include a code. This is my other cool thing. Not only do I have the Soul Yoga book, but I have the Soul Yoga journal. I'm so excited about this journal. It's a companion journal to document your 12 chakra journey. And it's cool too. Everything. I love that word cool. Can you tell? My dad used it a lot. And so there's notes in here, and there's a reminder on the specific characteristics of each chakra and the color. And there are writing prompts in this journal too. It is a companion journal. You could use it on your own if you're familiar with all the chakras. The 12 chakra system that I use is a little different than other people's, because I know other people have different names for the other 12 chakra or the other outside of the body chakras. But you could use this on its own if you want, most certainly. But I think it's beneficial to use it alongside the Soul Yoga book. The Soul Yoga book does have journaling pages, but not a whole lot. But they're just in case some of you want to put highlights, right? And then the journaling pages come after each chapter, and each chapter is on a different chakra. But in the Soul Yoga companion journal, there's a lot of blank pages. So like if I was going to do a real cleanse, chills, oh my gosh. If I was going to do a major check-in on my soul and go, all right, let's, let's see where we can stretch, like yoga asanas. You like breathe into the posture and you see, can I go further? Can I look deeper? Can I move deeper into it? Love, compassion, acceptance to what we find and how we're able to move. Same thing with the Soul Yoga companion journal. Is if I were to use this, I would predominantly use it. If I used it once a year, it would be around my birthday. definitely that, because I'm a big fan of birthday celebrations. Um, because I think New Year's has got a lot going on, and the Chinese New Year has a lot going on anyway. Those are great. But I think your birthday is a great reminder of who you are, is what you came to do. And you're here with purpose, right? Your purpose is to find your happiness and breathe and live at that higher frequency vibration. That is your truest and highest core essence, your core consciousness. And so I would definitely encourage you to do this on your birthday. Work through it. I would work through it. Well, I would take advantage of the the chakra episodes that are coming up. You might want to, I'm going to do one chakra each week. So you might want to grab your companion journal and see what comes up for you, right? When you follow along on the podcast, is there something that's really being highlighted that you resonate with, that you want to put in your companion journal because you don't want to forget about it? So I think the companion journal has a lot of great attributes, which is why I wrote it, right? It's for you. And then it also definitely has the reminders along the way as to, how you can find out more of my information if you want to sign up for the newsletter, stuff like that, because you never know. I mean, the newsletter is going to also tell you in advance about the next book that I'm working on, which is a really fun one too. That one I'm going to like doing. My book, Soul Yoga, Using Your 12 Chakras as a Map to Reaching Your Highest Potential, is all about coming into union with your true self. Because you see, your chakras aren't just energy centers. They're where your experiences live, your wisdom, your soul's memory. In this book, I walk you through the 12 chakras so you can remember who you are. This could be your most important journey yet. To get your copy, visit my shop at constancemessmer.com. So you could get the Soul Yoga book, you could get the Soul Yoga companion journal, the book, the journal. And then, da 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 da, Soul Yoga inspiration cards. These are freaking, well, that's probably backwards. They're so beautiful. These are inspiration cards. They are soul whisperings of your 12 chakras. I think our soul is always whispering to us, right? The pure essence of our being that is connected to all that is, that knows our path and our journey, words backwards and every way in between. And I worked on these inspiration cards to support you also. And I think they're gorgeous. There's 64 cards, and there's 4 blank cards, so you could write your own soul whispering. But the 60 cards, they're based on each of the 12 chakras, 5 whispering for each chakra. And then what it helps you do is to, kind of have a focus that is a whisper from your soul to yourself. So I wouldn't say they're like oracle cards, although you certainly could say, listen, I'm struggling. What does my soul want to tell me? And then you pull a card. That would be cool. But you could also separate them out to each of the chakras and then, pull 5 throughout the weekdays on that specific chakra to kind of see what your soul at that moment, that day, wants you to look at and work at. And I've used these and put them on my, in my 2 different places. I'll put them on my vanity. I love that phrase, that name, that word. I put them on my vanity to kind of remind me as my wake up, like, oh, right, this is my intention of the day, right? Or I might then put it on my altar and my altar, I have a few different altars around, and altars are just cool things that I want to remind myself of, right? And so I have one at work, and then I have one at home, and they're cool. They have statues or pictures of loved ones and everything like this, or awards that I've won, things like this that I just want to remind myself, like, this is cool. You got this. This is a good life. Everything's cool. So I think that they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh, there's the blank ones. But they're really cool. They're just cool. Stop using that word, right? Listen, for a writer, I overuse that word, but I'm a child of the 70s. So what else do I want to tell you about? I'm excited for the set. I made it for you because I think that the more you explore the energy patterns that you're holding in your chakra system, the more empowered to go forward in your life you will be. And so I think that we um, often get so caught up in the physical in our day to day life that we forget to pay attention to the soul, that we forget that we've got this incredible map of our soul trajectory that we're walking around with, and that we're depositing experiences in each of our energy centers in our soul essence, really. And these experiences resonate in your each of your chakras, and they can either, build you up or take you down. And so there's been times in my life when I'm just like, oh my God, something's going on. I really need to go, close my eyes, put my hands on my heart. Where's this coming from? It's coming from inside you. Wow, what is this I need to look at? And sometimes it's old patterns that I wasn't even conscious of, but I was noticing because how people were treating me in my outside environment. I was like, what, do I have a big sign on my head that says treat me this way? Like, what is this? And it was this vibration that I was carrying based on a situation. And so I had to take the time to go inside to go, what's this relating to? And the second that I brought it to light, right? Brought it to light and sorted it, then people around me started changing, right? And I didn't even have to say anything. It just wasn't, I wasn't emitting that frequency, broadcasting that frequency. So the whole Soul Yoga collection is to help you recognize what frequencies you're broadcasting, what you're, carrying around or wanting to look at. I also mention in the Soul Yoga book kind of some physical complications you might be coming across, or ailments that you might be experiencing if that chakra is a little bit out of whack. I have to remind you, I'm not a doctor, but as a Reiki practitioner and Reiki master, we can definitely see the symbolism. I don't diagnose. I don't want you to diagnose with any of these, but you can definitely offer some, kind of a perspective on the wisdom of what the person's chakras are telling you about. So who could use the Soul Yoga collection? You personally, absolutely. You could use it definitely if you're a practitioner or teacher or body worker or healer or therapist, anyone in the healing arts. I think it's beneficial. I think that if you don't know the chakra system and you work in the healing arts, you are really missing out, because we're body and soul. And if you only live through your physical senses and your physical experiences, then you're missing half your life. 11 soul senses, 5 physical senses. And so people that work in the healing arts, sometimes the chronic condition is an energetic component. It's not a, it's that. It's usually when I found chronic conditions in both my Bowen world and my Reiki world, it was a lot of times it was this energetic predisposition, whether an ancient past or family lineage or, whatever it was, or just their own personal kind of thing. I'd look through the Akashic records and, I talk about this. I talk about this in the episodes ahead. So I hope you join me. I hope you stay tuned for what's yet to come. Again, it's to empower you, right? Because my work is about a journey of consciousness. And for you, I want you to, live your best life, really. I want to inspire you and help you transform and transmute those spaces and those places that don't serve you, so that you can be empowered to be and live a life that is, I think, more profound existence. And I hope this new round of material that I'm offering through, the Soul Yoga material in these next 12 weeks to come will be beneficial and help you on that journey. So if you want to know where you could grab your copies of these 3, check out the shop. When you buy these items from the shop, you support the content. And I really appreciate that. I'm asking spirit, you know me, I'm asking spirit, do you have anything else you want to tell me? Like, is there more? What do you want to say? It's always about them, giving them the last word. Um, it's you help me by supporting the content when you buy these products, and you really help not just me, you help everyone, the planet, when you put them to practice and put them to use and become more of the vibrant being you already are. This is about me helping you see your incredible light. That's really what I'm here for, is to help you align with your true intuitive self, to help you align with your intuitive self for a more profound existence, and not just for your own self, but for our world. The world needs us all on this higher vibrational plane, right? This higher vibrational space of consciousness and living. It's our evolutionary journey. So thanks for tuning in.